and welcome back to The Angry Teacher. I am Richard Williams, The Angry Teacher, and today I'm going to be reading an article by a friend of mine, Marck Abraham, as he talks about black male students and how we can reach them during this time of a pandemic and distance learning. Hang around. This is going to be dope. So Mark is a doctor, congrats Mark, and he reached out to me about an article that he wrote in the National Association of Senior Principals, I think, high school senior principals. I'm going to have the link down in the description below so you can check it out for yourself and check them out for yourself. But he wrote this article about reaching black male students, and I thought it was so insightful because I have my own organization, Epsilon, and there's several videos coming later. I'm working on those, but I founded it in 2010, and now we've grown a little bit, and so this just reaches out to the heart of what we're all about, what I'm all about, reaching our community and bettering our kids. All right, so let's get into it. The name of the article is Student-Centered, Culturally Proficient Leadership. In spring 2020, COVID-19 closed 118,000 schools out of a total of 123,000 schools in the United States, according to MCH strategic data. That is 97.61% of the entire K-12 population, 0.8 million students. It is no secret that millions of students were displaced from their educational setting. Leaders have a responsibility to address the needs of all learners in these challenging circumstances, particularly those associated with black male students. While times are uncertain, the concern is even greater when it comes to formal learning of all students. One group in particular has been historically disadvantaged academically, and we know who that is. Black male students have the lowest graduation rates of any population in the country. Despite these extenuating circumstances, secondary principals continue to be held responsible for graduating all of their students. In addition to meeting the challenges associated with the pandemic, secondary principals remain tasked with addressing the pre-existing complex variables relating to graduating black male students. Alrighty. And I would dare even say that it's not just the principals who have this task, but all parties involved. Parents, teachers are all tasked with this job. Alright. Through this pandemic, to ensure that our most disadvantaged groups at the secondary level have any hope of graduating from high school, school leaders must operate from a theoretical perspective. This theory of culturally proficient leadership has proven successful in guiding black male students toward graduation. Then he has a list of things that we can do to get them to this goal of graduating. All right. So the article goes into another phase where it's a subcategory that's called putting connection before learning, and that's important. As you know, I have the moniker Pops, and that's because the connection was made. Even though my kids learn, I can guarantee it, the connection is there. So when I started reading this article, and then I realized that we can still do this long distance, because it was tearing me apart that we couldn't meet with these kids and I couldn't have that one-on-one, that touch, that connection physically with them, or in the same space. This article blew me away because some of these things I never really thought about, but it's just awesome, right? Okay, so the next section of his article is putting connection before learning. Research indicates that secondary school principals are second only to teachers when it comes to increasing student achievement. Black male students need to feel connected to their schools. That's very important. Believe they have relationships with the adult within the school and know that their school cares about them. Secondary principals need to create an environment in which black male learners feel connected and then he has about 8 things or 8 ways that we can do this. Now, I find that these 3 important items very important. They have to feel a connection to their school. They have to believe that somebody in the school cares about them, and that the school in general is there for them. That's just awesome. It's not, and you know, a lot of people tend to believe that black males don't care, they don't feel. And I just love this article because it dispels that myth that black males don't have feelings or they don't care. But this article just is amazing. All right, so he goes into the list of 8. Number 1, initiate wellness calls. That's important. During a pandemic, you know, when we're all isolated, we don't know what's going on. There's the fear of the uncertain. It's good to know that somebody's calling to check up on us, not telling us to log on and get work done, but how are you doing? How's the family? How do you feel about whatever, you know, the situation is that we're in right now? Okay, we can't go out to the field, we can't go out to the court, we can't do certain things. However, I'm here for you. Let's talk about something. All right, whatever's bothering you, however you're feeling, let's just talk. Let's just rap. Not about anything relating to school necessarily, but if it comes up, I got you with that too. This is awesome stuff, man. All right, create a weekly online mentoring group that includes focused specific topics and guest speakers, so they can still have people coming out and talking to them. You can zoom in, not just about, you know, just rapping or just hanging out, but they can also be directed at things that they're gonna have to do once we get out of the lockdown, the pandemic situation that we're in, where people have to still go back to school. They still have to go get a job, apply to college. All these things, you can still get it done when you're focused and you have that mentoring that's going on. Let them know that, you know, life has changed, but it hasn't changed. We still got stuff to do now, all right? So I love that. Number 2, all right? Number 3 now, conduct online weekly or daily readings to black male students through social media platforms. Now, it would be awesome if they can just sit and watch somebody read some stuff, right? But it's also even more amazing if they can watch something about them or direct it to them. That would be awesome. Make a video, right? And place it on social media. Have them be able to be recognized in one of these things. That would be an amazing tool to know that their school cares enough to identify them socially, like everybody can see them. You know what I'm saying? All right, number 4, create an everyday Friday event. I love that. This one, really, I never thought about this one. Of rallies through Facebook or Instagram. Ask educational questions, school history questions, or school spirit questions. Then mail the reward to whoever wins. Now, as a kid, I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was comic books, I don't remember. But when I used to get stuff in the mail, that used to blow my mind because I'm a kid and I'm getting my own mail like my parents. But this is just amazing when you talk about your school, because I'm at one of the quintessential black schools in South Florida, and most of the males there, it's all about the athletics, because that's one of the things we're known for. If it's not athletics, it's about the performing arts and the medical magnet that's associated with the school. But most of my black males are in the athletics. With that said, do they really know about the school? This is how you find out. Do they know anything more about the other aspects of the school and not just the athletes who have gone through the building at some point? All right, so the weekly Friday events and rallies, and it's going through Facebook and Instagram. Look at what Mark's doing here. Dr. Abraham, excuse me, knows what he's doing, because this is promoting the school and promoting your black males. You're getting them all excited about everybody seeing them. They're going to be recognized, and when they know about the school, when they know about who loves them or who cares for them, it's a big thing. And then you mail the reward to them so they have something to look forward to. That is just blowing my mind right now. Okay, amazing. All right, number 5. hold online tutoring sessions, pep rallies, and book club meetings. That's also a very good thing because they still know life is still happening. And you know what? It's centered around us, so I'm getting the attention even though I'm in isolation. All right? I'm not really by myself because my school still got my back. They're still tutoring because when we get out, trust me, SAT and ACT, they still testing. It was when we had the AP exams in May, everyone was like, why is College Board still testing during a pandemic? But they are. So when we get out of this, we're still gonna be ready for the world no matter what happens. Pep rallies, we can still get live and turned up at these events because my school cares about me. All right, love it. Number 6, send personal letters with the school logo to young male students so they know educators are thinking about them. Now, I said it earlier, it does something to a young person when they get their own mail, when they get their own email. And you know what, not just email, because a lot of kids, they don't check emails enough. We have to get them ready for that next phase of their lives, but they don't check it a lot. But when they have a physical thing coming in the mail that's for them, from the school, about them, and it's not relating to how bad they're doing in class or how well they're doing in class, it's just about, hey, how you doing today? I see you. That is just blowing my mind. I love it. Personal letters. So if you're a group of teachers get together and just write the black male students, it will make their day. All right. Number 7, provide students with school signs for their front yards that show school spirit. This is amazing. Now, some would beg the question, what about those who live in apartments or don't have that kind of space? But I would dare say, send it to them anyway. Or have them make little flags or posters so they can post it somewhere in their house. Or if it's the same lawn signage, put it in the if it's allowed, the apartment complex. Let the whole complex know that there's a black male student here who is doing well and his school cares about him, because for the most part, others in the same complex go to the same school. So that would just blow his mind and make him know that somebody cares. His school cares. And then he will care enough to know the history of it, to care about where the school is coming from and how the school operates. So the number 4, the create an every Friday event raffles with the school history questions and school spirit questions will mean more to him because the school means something to him, because he means something to the school. I am just digging this. And lastly, number 8, try social distancing home visits, especially if the student is not responsive to other outreach connections. Now, and I've been there, especially at the end of last year when we were trying to find a lot of our kids to have them to log on to their classes. Some students were just disengaged, if you will. But if you go to the home, and you know, our district handles that very well, but everybody gets it. They go to everybody's home. So, you know, why am I special about that? But black male students, you target them, you go to their home, hey big guy, you didn't log in today. What happened? And you kind of talk them through it. It's just amazing that to know that somebody cares about you. That's all I'm saying. This is a very good article, and I love all these 8 things that we can do as schools or school principals or teachers. We have a couple of teachers in our building who, not just because they love the kids, but they go and they make sure that our kids are okay. That's just amazing to me. All right. Secondary principals show they care and value diversity when they can make a concerted effort to reach out to male students of color. One principal who remained anonymous for the study demonstrated her understanding in a recently published dissertation by saying, they know that when they come here, the adults here care about them. It is important that you build relationships between adults and between students and adults, she noted. It doesn't apply only to the boys, it's all students. We focus largely on building relationships, and I think that makes a huge difference in how our students perform. Successful principals understand that for black male students to graduate, they must get to a teen's heart and mind and help them address their challenging circumstances. Now, I agree with this principal who, once again, in the description down below, if you want to check out the article, you will get her name. But I have a problem when she just lumps all the students together. Now, we are targeting black male students. We're trying to get them to graduate. Not that we don't love the other students and that we don't care about them, but for the most part, students in general, we all love them. Okay? However, there's some that will have it harder to get to the graduation benchmark in their life, and that's who we're targeting, the black male students. So I was leery about what she said about not just boys or black males or whatever. It's all students. We're targeting the black males right now, so we're trying to get them to graduate. We're going to show them that we love them, especially in this climate of 2020 with all the violence and the protesting and whatever else is going on, the attacks from the government seemingly, and cops, and the contentious relationship between young black males and cops, if you will. It's good to know that we're trying to get them to graduate, and it's good to know that they know that somebody cares about them, cares about their heart and their mind. Thank you, Mark, for bringing this up. All right, social distancing does not need to prevent us from building relationships with our students and making them feel loved. All of these opportunities can be accomplished on social media outlets to make students feel valued and loved. Many students are incredibly astute regarding social media. In this pandemic, all students, but especially black male students, need to feel connected like never before. So, yes, we know that you're there. Yes, you know that we're here, but we need to bridge that gap. We need them to know that social distancing doesn't stop this love train. All right? In order for schools to be successful for black male students, there must be a laser focus on graduation. Let's get to that point. Let's get you ready for the world, because you know what? Whether we get out of this pandemic with a new normal or we go back to our old normal, you need to be ready for whatever we have to face. So we're still doing this. I'm still loving you to death, and we're still getting stuff done. Consider implementing ongoing credit reviews. Yes, with school counselors and administrators to ensure that black male students are ready to graduate from high school. This collaborative work allows principals to have an accurate representation of what's transpiring for all of their students in their schools at a distance. This man is blowing my mind. I just love this. And everybody knows, well, those who've been in the building for a little bit, know that my second major position in the building, third rather, is being the assistant athletic director or academic coach for the athletes. And so I look at their academics all the time, and I'm chasing them, making sure they're in class, making sure they're doing the work, making sure they're not disrespecting teachers, make sure they feel that they can cope with the academics of their high school life. But everyone needs to do it. We need to be checking on these kids, and hence he talked about, I think it was number 3 or 4, about the mentorship, because somebody needs to be there to say, hey guy, what's going on in this math class? You're not doing as well as you are in your history class. Let's talk about this. All right. And lastly, the last thing I want to say about this article, because it's getting very long and I could go on because it's that deep, and we could break it apart forever. Although these are uncertain times for all of us as a country, what is certain is that black male students and their families are being impacted the most by COVID-19. They're among the most marginalized groups in the country and are statistically one of the most educationally disadvantaged groups nationwide. That's scary, that's heart-wrenching, and that's problematic for me. All these facts really hurt. It is the responsibility of secondary school principals to ensure that throughout these complex circumstances, all students graduate from high school on time. I'm trying to get my boys there. I suggest you do the same, because we need to get our black male students or male students of color to graduate on time. Give them that ammunition. Give them that piece of paper, that authority that says, I graduated high school. Now with this, I can either go on to college or I can go into the workforce, but I've got the first thing down. I can be successful no matter what life throws at us. During a pandemic, after the pandemic, I got this because people got me. Thank you, Marck Abraham.